Hello, this is Gorehound here, and I did promise to do a vlog on the movie You're Next. I'm not mad at the movie. I'm not even disappointed. It just comes off as meh to me. But I guess the reason behind it is because it was frankly a little too overhyped around the horror community. But in order to understand that, you need to know a couple things about You're Next. One, you need to know that it premiered at 2011 Toronto Film Festival in 2011. It was met with critical acclaim, really positive, glowing reviews, and audiences alike very much liked it. And they were praising the movie for its originality, its characters, the gore, the actual scares, and after that night, there was a bidding war between who would license or who would buy the film. Ultimately, Lionsgate won that out in September 2000, September I think 21st in 2011, according to the Wikipedia page. But yeah, they held on to that for 2 years. Now, the result of holding that film back is that that film kept on going throughout its own festival circuit, garnering more and more positive reviews to the point where Rotten Tomatoes, as before the film was released, it was holding a solid 90 on Rotten Tomatoes. Now it's around like a mediated around 80, and they claim it's fresh, it's original, and it's scary. Here's where I disagree with that. Yes, it's gory. It has that going for it. You don't see me complaining. But being original, no. The film's synopsis builds itself up to be like the home invasion equivalent of Scream. Like you see like very meta in-jokes that you would see in Scream. We're just poking fun of it and just like ha 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 ha. But no, it's played serious, and it comes off as a little bit of a comedy because of it. There are some lines where it's said with the utmost serious face and ridiculous lines, and and frankly, I I'm having I'm having so much trouble trying to put to words why this movie isn't as original as the critics say it is. It's creative, yes. Is it original? No. It's original in one aspect, in that one character, the main character, our main heroine, stands up and kicks a lot of ass. Now, this is something you don't see in horror movies until the third act. Here, she keeps that consistent, and that's where I think the originality comes from. Whereas, like, you don't see someone, like a girl, like, take out one of the killers in the first, like, 30 minutes. Well, you don't, because horror movies usually build that kind of shit up to have a more and more satisfying conclusion. But an effort to be unpredictable, yet completely predictable at the same time, You're Next falls under that category. And also, while I'm talking about our main heroine, her name is Erin, by the way. While I'm talking about the character of Erin, she's the entire movie, or mostly all the criticisms of the movie, claiming that it's original. It's smart, witty, and funny. Rely on Aaron and the killers. Even well, the funny part mostly on the killers end. But the first three, being its original, smart, and witty, rely on her alone. None of the main characters, none at all, do anything remotely smart or deserving of that kind of praise. It's actually quite shocking to see how profoundly dumb they are in comparison. And they explain it in the movie where it's just, they're just an ordinary family, but this girl is not. She's not one to be fucked with. It's they just flat out give it away. But it's towards the end, it's sort of like a throwaway thing. But what can I say? My main problem with this film is the actual cast. While the character of Erin and her actress was perfect, I think she gave the best performance out of everybody involved. The killers, three killers, they were good. Didn't have too much lines, but they were good. But everybody else in that family, they sucked. Every other moment they were just whining, just utterly bitching and moaning. And other than that, they were either screaming their lungs out, which frankly is the only thing they actually could convey in the way they were written. People, they were just, for about the first, once the house invasion bit starts picking up, when like the family dinner, and you see that in the trailer where they start shooting with crossbows, once that starts to pick up, everybody loses their shit, starts crying, yelling, started thinking stupid, like they're being shot at crossbows, and this woman's standing up just in awe. She's standing there like, and she has to be tackled down into some, not even submission, just to save her. And also, the film tries to be a comedy. It fails. Right, I didn't even laugh once at this humor, or what they think is humor. It didn't work on me. Reason being is that it was a straight up horror movie and didn't need that. If it wanted to be like a sort of a pitch black satire, then yeah, okay. I mean, there are horror movies that have funny parts, but this is kind of trying to force it. Take a genuinely serious situation and force the humor into it, and kind of ruins it a bit. I mean, yeah, that, and another thing I really didn't like, it was the fact that it was taking place in all one, literally one location. Like some back ass in in like the woods or something, and they're like their housing project built by their father. It's so isolated that frankly they're just asking for a kind of movie like this. I guess that's the only negative parts I found in the movie, where like either the cast, the little kind of the lazy comedy, and what else? Yeah, I mean that's about it. Now about stuff I liked. I liked the violence was good. The effects were good. No CGI blood, and I like that. More of that, please. Um, but the kills were pretty creative. Even then, I was like, ugh. I didn't. Half the kills were so over the top and outrageous that I had to laugh. And if they wanted to be a comedy, then it succeeded. It made me laugh, but not at the shitty jokes they were spewing out at each other. Definitely at the people meeting their own demise. I mean, there was a forced line in there about having sex on your dead mother's corpse. The guy was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? I'm not in the mood." Is that funny? I don't think so. It's deranged, dark, morbid, but not really funny. But having one of your main villains get smashed in the face with a glass blender, and then having the blender plop down like right there, and then turn the motor on, and that's so ridiculous. It becomes funny. That part I laughed at. There was a lot that I laughed at. The ending made me laugh too. But I guess that's really all the good parts that I think I liked about it. The kills were inventive. The gore was pretty good. But other than that, nothing much. I really, and considering that I've been following this movie for since 2011, since it made its premiere, I missed it. And I had to wait 2 years, seeing rave reviews about it, and finally it's come down to this. I got what I got to see the movie I wanted to see, but it wasn't at the same time. It delivered the home invasion movie. It delivered the horror. It delivered the horror. It delivered the home invasion movie that was promised, but a horror classic in the making that some of these horror reviewers online claim to say it is one of their favorite horror movies in like the past decade. Um, I wouldn't give it that much credit, but it's a decent horror film. It definitely has some chops behind it. Honestly, if it were just for me, or just by my opinion, it would have been better off as a straight to DVD release because, frankly, if it's going to take 2 years to produce something like this and overhype it to shit online and then finally get to watch it at the theater, you feel kind of cheated in a way. And I've been browsing through forums and just trying to decide what kind of movie I just watched. And is it that if this was the movie they were advertising in the previous reviews 2 years ago? I can barely find a resemblance. They probably saw a completely different movie than I did. But then again, I assume that the film circuit. If you watch a film in a film movie at a film festival, it feels really exclusive and it feels like an event, and doesn't feel like you're just at the movies. It sort of elevates your experience and experience of a movie, and I think that sort of what garnered the praise, the initial praise, or the overhyping, if you will, of this movie, and um I think that's the case. I don't think it will handle too well. The Rotten Tomatoes synopsis says that it'll please horror buffs. Speaking as a horror buff, speaking as a gore hound, delivered on the gore, delivered on the violence, not on the par with any of the other horror films that come out this year. The Conjuring, definitely a better film. I know some people don't like The Conjuring. The Conjuring was decent. It was a better movie than this. Well, it's been a while since I've seen a horror movie where no one died. In really creepy direction. And above that, I like James Wan's movies. Death Sense was awesome. Dead Silence was a bit iffy. Saw, the first one, was good. What else did he do? Insidious, that was pretty good. Now when I think about it, he does a lot of ghost stories. Side the point. That's my opinion on Your Next. Honestly, it could have been a lot better. It was not as waiting 2 years to see it, and I feel kind of cheated a little bit, but definitely better than Kick-Ass 2. That's what I can say. If people enjoyed Kick-Ass 2, and you go into Your Next and expect it to be scary, it's not that scary. Couple of jump scares, but that's startling. That's not scaring you. I'm just rambling on right now. But yeah, that's Your Next, and I'll make another vlog when I see The World's End, which will be around this Tuesday, I believe. So until then, it's the Gorehound, signing out.